Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class despite the fact that this bug inside of me is trying to keep me in bed. I have a cold, so you'll need to excuse any sneezing, coughing, etc. It is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live. I did take some Dayquil, so we'll see if that kicks in as we're as we're doing this live broadcast. And thank you for the giggles. You guys are fun. I think it was, who was it, Debbie, that wrote down, colds are supposed to be all gone by April. That sneaky bug, she said. And then Tina put some little emojis in there with blowing noses, and it was cute. Thank you, you guys. It makes me feel loved when you're chiming in before the live. It's fun to read your comments. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your kind words and your fun messages, talking about the weather, saying hello to each other. It's been a blast to read those this morning. Trisha Josephs, let's welcome her. She is my moderator on YouTube, and she is here to answer questions as we go along. Thank goodness I got some information in the description of my video, Trisha. I think I finally got the last of it in there, maybe around, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. So hopefully she has all the links that she needs in order to share information with you. If you have questions, you can tag her in a question. You just start typing her name. Well, you first type the @ sign, the A with the circle on it, and then you start typing TRICIA Josephs, and her name will pop up. You're just going to click on it, and you'll be able to tag her, which means your comment's going to stand out to her more. You can also look in the description of the video because you might have your answer in there. So thank you so much, Trisha, for being here with us. We're going to make some pillar pyramid cards today. These are a fun fold type of card, and I was inspired by Iced Images, a video that I saw from her a couple years ago. Well, I saw it recently, but she posted it, I think it was a couple years ago. Anyways, I'll put a link to it in today's blog post, and I do have a link to it in Monday's blog post, so that you can see her original card that she did with a 5x7 card base. But with Stampin' Up, we do a different size card base. So, and for all of you people who live outside the US or outside the imperial measurement zone, wherever that would be, right? I do have some metric measurements. I did not put that in the PDF. Forgive me, I believe it's because I'm not feeling well. But I will put that in my blog post, and the blog post will go live at 4 p.m. Central Time, so in about 5 hours. And in that post, you'll be able to get the PDF that I'm going to show you, so you don't need to take a screenshot of it. It's going to have images, measurements, supply list that's clickable, the title and the date. And then you'll also be able to access the measurements within there, including the metric, other close-up photos, visual supply list, links to my friend's blog. So we are doing a blog hop today. We're connecting our blogs together, our all-star group is, and so we're going to show you all kinds of fun ideas, things that you can create with the beautiful gallery suite. That's the product line that I'm going to use today to make my pillar pyramid cards for you today. And so I hope that you have fun. Sit back and enjoy. You can try to craft along with me. Sometimes people do that, but then you're super speedy and wow. Or you can just watch the replay and craft along with me, so you can pause and start it up again. It's going to be fun. So I hope that you enjoy this fun fold card. Again, I adapted the measurements to work with our 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch size. And then I also adapted the measurements to work with the metric measurements for A4 size cardstock. So I hope that you all enjoy this. Let's start by going to the desktop first. I want to show you the catalog because I can open it now. Our catalog, this one here, went live yesterday, May 6th. And so all the goodness that is in there, like new products and all of that, and other new products that are online only, debuted yesterday. So I hope that you had a chance to peek through them. There's some really good stuff in there. I need to get my camera going here, so hang on just a second. There we go. So on pages 52, that's where it starts. 52, and you can see all the gorgeousness through 57, I think. Yes. So this suite covers 6 pages or 3 layouts, and there's lots of inspiration within. If you go to my blog at stampyourartout.com, click on shop, and I think it's catalogs. Let me peek here really quick. You'd think I'd have it memorized by now. You're going to go to shop and then catalogs, and then you can click on the actual link for this catalog, and you'll be able to download it so that you can peruse it anytime you want. So again, page 52, and then here you see the products on pages 54 and 55, and then you see even more inspiration, on 56 and 57. So lots of great ideas. You can see it's a beautiful suite. The suite is kind of emulating museum art, right? Hence the name, Beautiful Gallery. And so all of these images within the designer paper are kind of like pictures that you would see if you went to a museum, right? And then there are 2 bundles that go with this suite. I did dabble in using a little bit of each. So I have words from this stamp set here, the beautiful motifs. I have used this die here. I've also used this image down here, and I've used, I think, these leaves here, maybe a couple, yeah, maybe this one too. So I kind of dabbled and used all of them. I did use the designer paper. I did use the embellishments and the ribbon. Not on all one card. I kind of like dispersed them. So I'm going to show you all the finished cards, okay? Normally I don't do that, but I am going to show you the finished cards. And then this embossing folder I didn't use for this project, but if you check out our blog hop or our blog post the first of the month, we do share a link to purchasing our All-Star video class bundle, and that includes all of these exclusive beautiful ideas. There's 12 of us that share, and then the blog hop is where you get those extra ideas. So you're going to get a ton of ideas, but just want to let you know about that. And if you're somebody who purchases from one of us, you can earn those tutorials through a qualifying purchase. Okay, let's take a peek at the papers and all the product. So far, I'm surviving, you guys. Oh, I can feel a sneeze now. It's coming. Hang on. Gotta get my Kleenex. Okay, nope, it went away. All right, here's the beautiful paper. And we're going to be using the top 3 designs for the cards that I have, for the finished cards that I have. So you can see how gorgeous they are. But you could use any of these, really. The card that I did for the exclusive project, I'm trying to remember what I did even. I can't even remember because I have a cold. Oh my goodness, Rachel. Yeah, I can't remember what it is. Anyways. But yeah, lots of pretty papers. And there are back sides to them too that are more subtle, like, you know, kind of like the B side of records, you know, a little bit more subtle, not as popular, but still just as cool. So you can check those out. Gorgeous papers. Here's the embossing folder that we aren't going to use today. It's called Damask Designs. And you can see through this little thing here, the intricacy of the pretty design there, the look. Here's the Gallery Blooms stamps and coordinating dies. You can see you get frames with it. And then here are the other 2 items in the beautiful motifs bundle. Now, a couple of these dies, I think it's these 3 here, don't cut out all the way. They just cut out partially. And then, oh yeah, that's the card I made. And then they pop up, these little images, or the edges of them, I should say, pop up. So you have really fun kind of dimension in your cards. And then here's the ribbon. And here are the, which you can't see very well, here are the embellishments. They're called pressed flower motifs. Maybe we'll zoom in so the light stays on them a little bit better. But there you go. The paper is gorgeous. I was considering canceling today, you guys. I canceled my team live because I just wanted to stay in bed. But because I'm connected to this All-Star blog hop today, I just couldn't. I couldn't figure out how to not do this video. Plus, I'm going to be sharing on Friday. So in 2 days, I'm going to be sharing a card that I did with the paper pumpkin products from last month, the April paper pumpkin, to make, I did another one of these cards with it. So really, you got to have the instruction now, right? Okay, we're going to cut our paper, our designer paper, to 5 3/4 inches. And this is what I did. I told you I was going to show you the finished project beforehand, didn't I? Okay, this is what I did. I cut off, let's see here. What did I cut off? I cut off that edge, and I cut off this edge over here. Okay, so should we just do the same ones? Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to cut off 5/8 of an inch. We're going to 5/8 of an inch. So we're cutting off that much because it's 6 by 6 paper. And we're going to the 5 3/8 inch mark. So you're going to cut to here. Now, those of you that are on my team, you probably are like, what? This is a whole different thing. Yes, because what we're doing for this one versus the cards that we did for our team event on Sunday night is I'm using one full sheet instead of 3 different patterns. Okay, and then on this side, we're going to cut off 5/8 of an inch. So we're going to go to 5 3/8 again, and we're going to remove that. Okay, let me show you the finished cards. You guys are like, yay, finally. Hang on. Okay, so this is, I'm going to show you the ones that I posted on my blog on Monday first, okay? So these are the fun pillar pyramid cards. And I kind of named them a little differently because the name that she used is when I Googled it, I was like, yeah, that's showing all different kinds of cards. So I made it a little bit more specific. I hope she doesn't mind ice images. Thanks, Tangi. She goes, you are a warrior crafter. So here's what it looks like from the side. It's got collapsible little columns, right? Or pillars. All right. So you can collapse them in different directions to flatten out the card so that you can mail it. So these were done with the Celebratory Sips, which is an online exclusive suite of products. Very fun, right? Very cheerful. So here are the other designs. Cheers and cheers, yes. And then on the back side, I did stamp some words, which you'd want to do before you start adding all your layers. But on the cards that I'm sharing today, so you want to check those out. Those are on my Monday blog post, and all I did was I think I gave measurements and supply list, and I said, wait for Wednesday. So that was another reason why I had to go live today. I'm going to climb into bed after this, though. So here are the other 3 designs, and these are the ones that I'm sharing with you today, and I will have, again, the supplies listed, the measurements, and all of that stuff, photos of these on the blog post, and today I'm actually giving the instruction for these fun different types of cards. So that's what we're going to do, and then if I have the energy, I will add dimensions for, you can see there's a different size here. This is the A4 size. So the measurements are so different, just so you know. Let's make this card. Okay, to make this card, we're going to first figure out which direction Rachel went for. Okay, so I went this way first, didn't I? Hang on. I'm going to peek because I want to make it the same. All right, so you need a 5 3/8 by 5 3/8 inch designer piece of paper. And you're going to start cutting, alternating your cuts, 3/8, 5/8, 3/8, 5/8, 3/8, etc., until you end with a 3/8 inch piece. Okay, so as we go, we're going to keep our strips all in alignment too. I'm putting these over here for now. Okay, so 3/8, and this is my up, this is my down. So figure out what your up and down is on your paper too, because we want to have it cut in this way. These are going to be vertical cuts for your card. So 3/8, and then 5/8, and again 3/8, and you're just going to keep on going with these measurements. And you can check on the opposite side too to make sure that you're hitting, kind of in that same spot that you should be for this side of the trimmer. 5/8. And what we're going to do is we're going to create this border on the outside edges of all of our little layers when we put this together. The border is going to be a 1/16 of an inch wide, so that it looks as if the papers are really, really close together. Now, if you don't like 1/8 inches, you could do a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, and then just make your designer paper be, oops, I gotta make that one wider. That was close, wasn't it, you guys? Were you like, oh my gosh, don't cut? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wide, narrow. Maybe I should be sick all the time because I feel like I'm really paying attention better. Thanks, Kathy. All right, and we're down to the last couple of cuts here. So yeah, then your up and down has to be 5 1/4 instead of 5 3/8. So this is 5 3/8 because I wanted it to be, you know, really, really close to all the edges. Okay, now we're going to take our paper. And for this type of card, you're going to need 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11, or maybe you could get it out of a 12 by 12. But we're going to go ahead and cut in this direction to 5.5 inches. Okay, and then we're going to turn it and cut it to 9 inches. We need that extra inch or 1/2 inch to connect our piece. So that's why we had to make it 9 inches instead of 8.5. So there's that cut. So now that we have this base piece, here are the measurements going this way. All right, you're going to do 3 3/4 inches with a score line. Then you're going to score at 4 1/4. You're going to score at 8. Anybody crafting along with me? I'm always curious. Oh, thanks, Sandra. And then 8.5. It isn't fun. It isn't fun, but you know what? That day quill, I think it's going to work. Okay, do you see this piece here? This is 3 inches wide. I'm going to use that now and cut a 5.5 inch piece. Okay, so now I can use this one for my top layer. I'm going to set it aside though, and I'm going to do my next layer, my medium layer. So I'm going to trim, I'm going to cut my cardstock in half this way now to get 5.5 inches tall. Because that way, if I want to, I can use these 2 pieces for another card later, right? Trying to make the most of my cardstock. And then in this direction, and I got to make sure I tell it to you correctly, 6, yeah. In this direction, we're going to cut to 6 inches. So 5.5 by 6. This scrap could be used for some of your layers. Do you see these here? So we can just set that off to the side for our layers. Okay, so we need to score these 2 pieces now, and then we'll start assembling the base. So again, 5.5 inches tall. Our first score line, and I'm going to make sure I'm correct here. Do not want to tell you something incorrect. 2 1/4. Is that right, Rachel? Oh, you know what? I could pull up my measurements on my computer. That's what I'll do. Because I have them. Oh, I forgot to show you the PDF. Can I show that to you guys now? Do you mind if I'm a little late on that? Okay. Feel free to take a screenshot if you want to, but this is the PDF for that. Okay. So you have the photos of the cards on there. You have base measurements. You have other cardstock information. Beautiful gallery designer paper. You can see it talks about going back and forth with your 3/8 and 5 3/8 inch strips. And then you have your back layer of cardstock, which I'll show you soon. Here are all of the clickable supplies that you will need for this card. But do you see these measurements? This is what I need to look at right now as I guide you in the cutting. So I'm going to keep that up on my computer. Then I can put these things away. And we're going to start scoring. So we're going to score at 2 1/4. 2 3/4. Then we have 5 right there. Are you guys loving this card? Do you already see some of the supplies that you would use to make a card like this? And then who are you going to give the card to? This would be an amazing card that, you know, it pops out of the envelope, it opens up, and it's just so cool on display. So someone who needs something that they can put on their mantle, on their shelf, right? It's just a really fun card. This piece here, which is 3 by 5.5, is going to get scored at 3/4 inch. Then we have 1 1/4 inches. Then we have 2, there it is, and 2 1/2. Okay, now let's connect these pieces. So we're gonna connect them. Oh, you can't even see them. Oh my goodness sakes. Hang on. Did something happen on my phone, you guys? Wouldn't that be fun? I'm so sorry. Can you now see? Okay, let me move this out of the way. I'm so sorry that I wasn't showing you. So let me bring those back in. This one scored at 2 1/4, 2 3/4, 5 inches, and 5 1/2. I don't even know when it stopped showing this. So sorry. And then this one is your 3 by 5 1/2, scored at 3/4, 1 1/4, 2 inches, and 2 1/2. Okay? All right. Oh, good. You guys are already thinking of who you could give these cards to. That's great. Because, yes, it's definitely a wow type of card. You've been on my mind. Thank you for everything. That's kind of like one of those things that you just want to have on display, right? Thank you for everything. Let's take our bone folder and give these some good creases where all the fold lines are. So sorry. I hope I didn't have it away from my desk view too often or too long. Okay. Sorry, just checking out comments on the computer here too. Okay, so you're going to score. You're going to do that with all of your cards. You're going to fold on all those score lines. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's crease them so that they all become folds going in the same direction. Okay. I guess you would call them all valley folds, right? So we're going to score and fold all of them like that. Do the same thing on this one. Oops. Make sure you fold on the score line. Pollen. Oh, Virginia. See, I used to have allergies. I used to have seasonal allergies. I don't know what it is, but those things come and go in people's lives, don't they? My poor son, though, he has them all the time. He's had them since he was like 2 years old. Okay, do you see this? So, and I don't think mine are allergies because I've had allergies before. I know this is a cold. All right, so what we want to do is we want to connect. And you have a 1/2 inch strip on all of your layers, a 1/2 inch little strip here where you're going to do all that connecting. You see that? So we're going to go ahead and lay our pieces down. We're going to do this with each piece. So you're a wedding card. Oh my gosh, Tina, that would be pretty. That would be so pretty. So we're going to fold on the second line, not the area that we're going to put our adhesive on, but the next fold down. So you see this? Here's the first crease. Here's the second crease. Fold that down. And then for this side, Kleenex. Excuse me. For that side, we're going to fold on the first score line away from the outer edge. So the second score line and then the first score line. And to do that, you're going to make it nice and flat, okay? So let's take our seal adhesive and we're going to run it along that 1/2 inch section right in there. And then we're going to flatten on that second score line, flatten on the first, and connect. If you want to, you can put a little X back here to remind yourself that this is the back. I'm just going to flip it over, just like I'm doing here. I'm keeping these all together. I'm just going to flip it over and stick it up here for now. Same thing with this one. Fold on the second score line, put my seal adhesive, or you could use like tear and tape adhesive or glue or whatever. And then I'm going to fold on the first score line. Okay, so second score line, first score line. Flatten it out, lift it up. In fact, if you go back and forth, you can really make sure that you put your score lines in the right spot. Thanks, Yvonne. And I'm going to flip this over. This is my back side. And now for this one, we're going to press it down. For those of you in my team, I did cancel the live that usually is after this one, just because I need to go to bed. So I hope it's okay with you guys. So you're going to put tape along there, fold on the second score line, and then fold on the first one out here. And now you have your 3 pillars, okay? And all of them have the back side down. Now I'm going to spread these out, and I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to put some marks right here from this. Okay, I'm going to keep them popped up. I'm going to keep them popped up so they're nice and tall. And from the front, which measures right now 3 3/4 inches wide, I'm going to put a score or a little mark with my pencil and my ruler right here at 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to do the same thing down here, just to give me a guide as to where I'm going to put this second layer when I add it. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. This one now measures 2¼ inches wide. We're going to put a little mark at 3/4 of an inch, and I better wipe my nose, it's running, and 3/4 of an inch. Okay?
Excuse me, I'm gonna get off camera.
All right. Just a little blowing nose. Hang on. Bear with me. All right. Next, we're going to glue. So we're going to take our, you can use just your multi-purpose liquid glue. This is my precision tip bottle. I love using my precision tip bottle for tiny little things, but I'm going to use just my regular multi-purpose, which I store in my Country Hive, the Country Hive butterfly holder. Gotta love it. These extra things that I'm mentioning that aren't Stampin' Up! Product are listed below in the description, also on my YouTube video. And then everything but the pencil is linked to where you can find them if you're interested. Okay, we're going to flip this one over, and we're going to put glue on the back side. And the reason why I'm doing glue rather than seal is because I want to be able to shift and shimmy it a little bit before it's kind of stuck in place. So I'm going to add that. See my pencil marks there? I'm lining it up. Pencil marks, and I want to cover up those pencil marks that are on the base piece. Oops, I got to shift over a little bit more. We're covering them up. And we have it connected here, edge to edge, edge to edge. Everything's lined up, so it's going to stand nice and tall. And if you want to, you can flatten it down to give it a good press. Just make sure that it's bonded, right? Now let's flip this one over. Yep, that's the back side. And we're going to do the same thing. We'll put our glue on the back side. And again, you have wiggle room when you're using glue. I can shift and shimmy this if I have to before it dries. Okay, so that is now in place. And it looks pretty darn centered. And I'm going to flatten it down, and I'm going to press. Okay, just to make sure that it's really bonded in there. Okay, these pieces are next, and I kept them pretty much in the order that they needed to be, which is great. You have a couple options here. You can do tear and tape adhesive, if I can find the end. Oh, thanks, Lori. So I'm going to flip this one over. I really love paper crafting, you guys. This is hard for me to take a day off. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to flip all these over, and I'm going to put my tear and tape, oops, on the skinnier ones because it's a skinny adhesive, right? In fact, maybe what I'll do on a couple of them is I'll leave them adhesive free, so you can also see that you can use multi-purpose liquid glue, which is what I instructed my team members to use. Oh my goodness sakes, Rachel. Should I just stick this in here and hold it? I instructed them to use that when we did our team event on Sunday night where we made the celebratory sips one. Can I, what? What was the question? Oh shoot, I missed it. It went by me. I'm going to keep on doing these. In fact, I'll leave those clean. Okay, so let's take the, I missed the question. Can I, oh yeah, it sped by too fast. Hopefully Trisha can answer it. All right, so now I'm going to peel back with either your paper snips, or you could, take your pick tool under there. But let's just make sure that it's going in the right direction. And it is. So this is going to get attached here to this side. So if you didn't hear me at the beginning, we have new products. This is a whole suite of products that are new that you can get in on. You can purchase these now. They are no longer pre-order items. So if you're liking them, you can take and go to my store. So you click on my website at stampyourartout.com, and then you click any button that says shop. Okay? Any shop button will take you to my online store so that you can check out all the new things. And again, if you want to see the catalog online, you go to my website at stampyourartout.com. Click on the menu under the shop menu and click on catalogs. Okay, let's make sure that this is lined up. It is. Click on catalogs, and then it's there where you can see the digital version of this catalog. We do have more than just the new products that are from the catalog, though. We have a whole bunch of online exclusives, and the online exclusives, oops, see, that would be bad. That does not go that direction. The online exclusives include the celebratory sips that we created these cards with, the ones that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Celebratory sips is online only. You can also use your fingernails if you have non-painted fingernails. You can, and they're long enough to dig. My son Luke, he never has, well, he does now if he keeps them that way, but he never has long enough fingernails, and so every year when we do our garage sale, he couldn't help with the stickers. He couldn't remove the little price tag stickers. So, and that was fine with him. He just, he didn't need to help with the price tag stickers. He would go and play. But, okay, one more wipe. All right, next. Oh, we have one more. I was going to show you the glue idea. So glue, basically, you just have more wiggle room, right? Ooh, that does not go that way. Keep your pattern in the correct order. Other things that I want to share about, let's see here. Starter kit special. There's a starter kit special going on. So let's say you have a big wish list and it's like around $165 worth of product. Then you should really purchase those products in what's called the starter kit, because then you can be on the demonstrator side of things. You can get all that product for only $99 plus tax, no shipping costs on it, and here we go with the glue, and you can get future discounts on orders. And I promise you, I'm not sick all the time, but if you sign up under me, we have fun events that don't get canceled because I'm sick. No. Except for the team live today. Oh my goodness sakes. Okay, so you can do it this way instead too. Totally fine to do glue instead of the tape kinds of adhesives. All right, so that starter kit special started yesterday and it goes through the end of this month. I do have a link to purchasing the starter kit. I think it's even in the description of the video. But you can go to my website and click on, what do you click on there? You click on Join the Fun. Join the Fun drop-down menu, and the first thing you'll see there is Starter Kit. But you can also click on the other things and see what it's like to be in my group. All right, is that the last one? That's the last one. It's a fun time. I mean, you can do pre-order products, you can get discounts, you can get in on card swaps. You don't have to sell. Most people that get the starter kit are doing it for the discount. So it's totally fine if that's why you want to sign up. Okay, for the last few things that you're going to put on this card, we're going to cut out some vellum. Now, Stampin' Up! Does not sell vellum anymore, but I did find a vellum on Amazon that I thought was pretty comparable to the vellum that Stampin' Up! Used to carry. So we're going to die cut some vellum, and we're going to die cut a scrap of white. Do you see this circle back here? That circle was cut with this die here from the Spotlight on Nature dies. These are amazing circle dies. And Brandy, she's a team member, she was super excited that they carried over. So we are still selling the Spotlight on Nature dies. Anyways, I'm going to die cut that, and I'm going to punch out a piece too. Because we have totally clear stamps in the set that I'm going to use for the words, yeah, both sets are photopolymer. You can see through both of them. Because of that, I can go ahead and punch out my circle first. If you can't see through your stamps, you want to stamp first and then use your punch upside down and center it around your words and then punch. But let's go ahead and just get that piece ready. And let's take and die cut these pieces. And then we also need another circle, and that circle was done with the, I do have a link to the vellum. It's you can find it in my favorite extras. So when you go to the description, just go down where it says vellum and you click on my favorite extras, and it will take you right to where my pages on my website where you can find all of those Amazon links. So that's a 2-inch circle, and this one is 1 3/4 inches. And we need to die cut 2 more pieces. So let's go ahead and take those, and I'm going to bring this in because I want to show you how it fits. Okay. Here's the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Let's bring that over here. Can you see? Yep. Okay, good. So we're going to set our paper and our die cutting side down like that. And then we have our base plate, so that's number 1. And then we have die adapter plate number 2. And then we have our scratchier cutting mat number 3. And we also need to die cut this die. Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. This one here. So there's a bunch of different solid leaf looking things. And then you have outline images that go with the stamp set imagery. So let's die cut this one from there and put our second cutting mat, the one that's not as scratchy, on top. When you're new to die cutting, it's good to just keep your scratchier one on the bottom all the time and, you know, rotate and all that stuff. But then eventually that one's going to get so scratchy that you want to just trash it. And then you can take this top one, and that one, because you're going to start to see some little marks on it, but that one can become your bottom one, and you can put a new one on top. Okay, let's move these off to the side. And let's assemble the top piece. So look at that gorgeousness that you get from die cutting that. Is that amazing? Okay, and move those over there with the punches. We need our stamps. Oh, and we do need to cut one more piece. We need to cut a layer that's going to go on the back of our card. Oh, on this one we don't. On this one we don't. But in my directions, my PDF that I shared with you, you can see here that for this pink one, because that's made with Petal Pink cardstock, I put a layer on the back, stamped it, and then put a die cut image back there with some glue. So I'm not doing that on the back of this one, but you could stamp first. So here's, probably you want to stamp before you actually put these layers on. Silly Rachel. Oh, I did not put anything on the back of that one. But if you wanted to put anything on the back, you would do that now. You could also just add an extra layer, so then you can stamp that and stick it on later, right? Let's say you forgot to stamp before assembling. So just put on an extra layer. And that layer measures, and I'll tell you the right measurement here. Pull it back up again. It measures 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. All right. Next, so let's stamp. We're going to use Secret C because that is the blue. Well, we also have cloud cover in there, but that darker blue is called Secret C. It's a new color that Stampin' Up! Just released. So we're going to ink up our You've Been on My Mind, stamp that in the center of this circle, and we'll layer that onto our blue circle. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set these two aside because I think for this step, it's easier if you put your base layer on first and then you put your word layer on. So we're going to take and add this first. So I'm going to put a line of adhesive. Actually, I'm going to put it on here instead. I'm going to put a line of adhesive starting about here and going up to about here. Okay, I'm putting it on this because that way I can make sure that I'm not blind as to where the adhesive is back here, right? I know it's going to be centered if I add the adhesive here. So I will set that on there so it's nice and lined up. Press that in place. And now I can take and add the words, because if I add the words as, let's say I put the words on here, then I'd have to like straighten it out as I add it, right? So now I just have to worry about straightening as I center it into this circle. It's already there. It's easier, believe me. And I need to wipe my nose again. Hi, Polly. Glad you came. Better late than never. Hang on, you guys. Ah. Okay. Next. This is where we need a little bit of glue. And I always have room, because I don't glue these layers, I always have room to do a little bit of shoving and manipulating underneath. You see how I did that? So we're going to take and we're going to put a little bit of glue back here with the precision tip bottle. Just a little bit on the stem. Right there. And you could even put some on the front, because this is going to get tucked between the two layers. So I have glue on both sides of that little area. I'm going to lift this up just a tad, and I'm going to slide that in and press. And now that's sitting there. And this one, same thing. Just a little bit of glue. When you add glue all the way to your edges, then you don't have that ability to manipulate later on. Okay, and now we're going to lift just a little bit here, slide and tuck. And the last thing are these cute little bees. Oh my goodness. Do you guys own the tiny bees, the tiny bee trinkets? If you do not, you need them. So the tiny bee trinkets are super tiny. Look how tiny those are. For adding them, I have found that cutting a glue dot is the easiest way. So we're going to tear off one of these. And when I cut this, it's probably going to, one side's going to stick against my scissors, but I'm just going to cut through here. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, there it is. One side stuck to the scissors. So then I'm going to take that and peel it really quick, turn this over, and stick it down onto the back side of my bee. Oh, he is a fun one to play with. I wish they would have come self-adhesive, right? And then the next one, it's still on there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's still on there. So I can just take and add my bee body right to the top. And it might help to use your take your pick tool. So if you're somebody that has fingers that, you know, just stick it on with your take your pick tool. And then peel that off with the glue. And I'm going to make this bee kind of go downward. There we go. So we have two little bees on there. I'm going to show you how it folds. So for folding your card, you can go in either direction for the base. When it folds down flat, it's going to measure that 4 1/4 inch wide. Okay? So you got the wide, you know, bottom folded down. Now this one could go either way too. But this one, if you fold all of them to the right, do you see how this tends to go off a little bit? So you almost have to kind of do a staggering back and forth kind of fold. The Iced Images video that I watched, she had things that were on these layers, and then you really have to be careful which directions you fold when you're flattening it down. But let's go ahead and flatten it down. And then we just take and slide it, literally slide it, and you kind of have to manipulate. We could probably turn it upside down and probably go in there faster. But you can see that you can get it into your envelope. I'm going to turn it upside down. Oh yeah, that's faster. Okay, so it's in my envelope, ready to go. It's a thicker card, just so you know. But that's how you can get it in your envelope. And again, for this one, petal pink cardstock on the bottom, a white layer on the back with stamps and a die cut piece. Here's another set of leaves up here. I did a little bit of fun twisting of my ribbon, stuck that behind. These are the same layers, 1 3/4 inch punch, 2 inch circle punch, and then that circle that we used from the Spotlight on Nature dies. This one has a different sentiment, and the accents are the antique pearls. These are also new, so pretty. This one here is Mossy Meadow cardstock. On the back side is a white layer with a stamped image in Mossy Meadow ink. This is also Mossy Meadow ink, Mossy Meadow ink. The 1 3/4 inch circle punch, the 2 inch circle punch, and no die cut layer. But these are die cut. This is die cut with Mossy Meadow cardstock and with the vellum. And it's using this one here. Okay. And then the accents are the ones that come in the suite, the pressed flower motifs. You can see a few of those on there. 1, 2, 3. So that is the third card. And then this is the metric version that fits into the A4 type size envelope. I will put measurements in the blog post. I don't have them on the PDF, but I will work on that soon. Okay. All right, let me see if there's any other announcements I need to tell you. Upcoming lives, I have my next one on Friday, and hopefully I will have rest. I do have all my projects done. I just have to create the blog post. But anyways, that is coming up on Friday. I hope that you tune in. That's at 10 a.m. And we're going to do alternate projects, a second set of alternate projects with the April Paper Pumpkin Kit. Then next week, Wednesday, the 14th at 11. Saturday the 17th at 11. Now, at 10. If you can't keep track of all these, there's also a link in the video description to my calendar. So if you go there, if you scroll down, there's a link to clicking on a calendar. It's a Google Calendar, and it will show you all of my lives or my pre-recorded when I'm releasing videos on YouTube. And so if you go there, you can see them, and then you know my schedule ahead of time. All the cards are striking. Thank you. Trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to mention. New starter kit, new products. It's just new. Everything's new right now. We have prizes. So I'm going to bring you to my website because I want to show you. Well, first I'm going to show you what we did for last week. And I don't actually have it in front of me. But the prize winners from last week both claimed them. Yay! And they got a box full of stamped goodies, samples, things that I've created in the past. So I mailed them those ideas, and hopefully they've received them by now and they can get all that fun inspiration. So I did that prize because last week's video was actually a show and share video on a Wednesday. And we shared all kinds of different ideas. So I thought, why not do that for a prize? I have tons of ideas sitting around, so let's just spread more ideas. This week's prize is going to be access to a tutorial. But first, let me tell you the prize winners that we have from last week's video after live. So last week's video after live winners will get a box full of goodies as well. So those winners, and we had lots of comments again, so yay for that. So we had two winners. Our first winner is sorry. Oh, and then I disappeared. Hang on. Oh my goodness. My buttons. I did not have time to contact them to figure out what's going on with my buttons. But there, I'm back. Robin Dittman, 2688. You are an After Live winner. And so is Vay S7958. You both won a box full of different kinds of fun ideas. So reach out to me at rachel@stampyourartout.com so that I can gift you your prize. Make sure that you send me your mailing address. And then, and now I have to get rid of that. And now I'm going to go back to my computer because I want to show you what you have access to if you are a winner. Hang on a minute. Oh my goodness sakes. I think it's this one. I need someone behind the scenes. Okay, this is where I wanted to take you. All right, here we go. Buttons. I'm here. Hang on. I'm still here. Sigh. Okay, this is my website, and I'm just going to click on, the top part here. So if you're going to look for what your prize choice would be, let's say Trisha draws your name, you're going to go under shop and you're going to go to tutorials and you're going to go to tutorials. This is what you get to choose from. And I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. And you actually have 104 choices. Of course, I'd love it if you wanted to choose the beautiful gallery suite, video class suite, but you don't have to. You can choose any one of those items on that page. So again, it's under shop, tutorials, tutorials. So email me and let me know what you want on that. And then I did have it on my blog post from Monday to show you that these are the cards from Monday that I just featured to share with you to kind of tease you into this week's video. So we have some winners. Yay! Congratulations to Bonnie B and Carol Lucas. You are the winners that we have today. Yay! So you two reach out to me. Make sure that you email me, and then you can tell me what you want for your tutorial prize. I think that's it. So I'm going to let you all go. Can you believe it? We ended 10 minutes earlier than normal, Trisha. It's probably because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and then change your notifications so that you make sure that you get notified when I'm going to go live. Gosh, there's all kinds of good things that you can experience in future and past videos if you subscribe. So I hope that you do subscribe. I hope that you come back. I promise I'll be better. Well, maybe not by Friday, but I promise I'll be better soon. But thank you so much for tuning in today. Now I'm going to let you all go. Thanks again. I appreciate you being here. And now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.